starts off, shall I?
Go for it.
Performances there from your guys. Just start off with the main event, Hunter Shiraz, with a stunning stoppage victory there.
Fabulous stoppage. He's in with a guy who we all know is a competitor, and he obviously said himself he trained very hard for the fight. He fancied himself. But I think Hams looks so comfortable at 160 after struggling a bit the last couple of fights. Like he's come up there, and I think he'll make his presence felt in that division. You know, really good shots he threw. Very. You know, he's a. I'm telling you something. He's going to go all the way. I'm convinced of that.
David AVANESYAN as well. First round stoppage victory, looking very good tonight. How important is it that next one? It is a big fight for him.
Yeah, well, we're working hard to get him now. We're going to speak to the WBC on Monday, and we're going to lobby for him to get at least eliminator, if not be made a mandatory for their belt. So we're working very hard on that.
Mark Chamberlain, Sam Noakes, the same weight division, both with knockout victories, sets it up nicely.
They did. They both done very well in their respective fights, and I think down the road that's going to be a big fight between them two, providing they keep winning. But yeah, they did well, both of them.
Dennis McCann, a tougher fight than what people might have thought beforehand. Frank, what did you make of his fight?
It was a tougher fight than we all thought it was going to be, and that's what it was. But that's boxing. That guy come to fight, and he had to dig, and he dug deep, and he won at the end of the day. He did what he had to do.
Just two more from me, Frank. Obviously, you've got Zach Parker's fight with Demetrius Andrade, and it's May 21st at Pride Park, and you've put on the offer where any ticket bought £10 you will be donating straight to the administration situation currently going on there. Just talk to me about that, how happy you are to deliver that for Zach at the club he supports.
I'm very happy to deliver. That's why we won the purse bid. You know, he's in a very tough fight. It is a tough fight for him. There's no doubt about it, against a really good world champion who's coming up now to super middleweight. But I think, you know, Zach is a very tall and big super middleweight, very big super middleweight. And I just fancy that he has. I think he's got the tools to do the job, and hopefully in front of his home fans. And all those Derby County football fans as well will come out to support him and their club. I think it'll be a good night for him.
Do you have an idea attendance-wise what you're aiming for?
Fill it up.
And final one, there's some reports and rumours about a Parker Joyce fight might be close. Anything you can fill us in on?
Nothing at the moment is done as far as Joe's concerned. We're waiting to get his clearance for his broken arm, and then we'll work on it.
Thanks, Frank.
Right, all good.
Karan, can I just ask a question? Rack Noble from Boxing UK. The sparring footage of AJ and Joyce was leaked out. What are your thoughts on that, and should that have been something that happened?
Well, it's a mystery why it's been leaked, isn't it? But I'm sure it's been leaked for a certain reason. I don't know how old that footage is. All I know is they're both in their 30s now. You've got to look at what they've done over the last few years. You know, Joe's done extremely well for himself. He's got himself into the number one manager position. We've all seen AJ. We've seen him at the top, and we've seen him in my opinion, decline a bit over the last few years, and certainly in his last fight. I fancy him. That sparring material means nothing. It means absolutely nothing today, where you look what these two guys are. Sparring material I'd like to see. I'd love to see the sparring between AJ and Daniel Dubois. Whatever happened to that?
Talking of Daniel Dubois, what are the plans for the heavyweight prospect at this point? Any idea when he'll be out next with the Trevor Brown fight?
Press conferences on. The purse bids are on Monday.
All the best with that, Frank. Thank you very much.
Frank, Anthony Yard has said he'd like to be on the card for Fury White. Is there any news on that?
We will know next week. We keep being pushed it back now 2 weeks. We've been trying to sort a few things out, and hopefully we will have some news for you next week.
With the Lindenhoff trilogy,
not interested in that.
One last one, Frank. Raven Chapman, the first female to sign with Warren for quite some time now. What ambition and hope? Second one ever. What prospects and hopes do you have for Raven coming forward in the future?
Put everything we got in Queensbury behind her. That's what we got. That's what she's got going for her.
Do you think she could be another Nicola Adams?
I hope so. You know, Nicola done extremely well. Why shouldn't she be? I mean, we'll work very hard to give her the opportunities, and hopefully she'll come through and deliver.
I would love to know what Steffi Ball was able to say to persuade you to sign Raven Chapman, because of course he has such high prospects for her. He seemed to have made you a believer.
He did. He's been telling me, you know, how good she is, and I've seen some fights that she's done, and so I'm in. I bought into it, and I'm in.
that's our stuff, guys.
Thank you very much, Frank.